other than only this chief, leader, power, ox, arm, hand, thrust hand, deed, and heir, sons, sprouting seed, this Yahya given kingdom of life, exists, lives, also like you, one only, does not, do not, exists not without, this chief, ox, arm, hand, deed, heir, offspring, sprouting seed continue, and perpetuate this Yahya given kingdom of life, also like non-existence, no man, woman, no one, none here, outside, if ever not connected to this anointed tent peg, hooked to secure, inside this family house, tent floor plan, also like obligation, pledge, absolutely, entirely, nothing, save other than this Yahya given kingdom of life, heir, continuation, and perpetuation of sons, sprouting seed, all that divided, pressed, repeated, and sharpened, from this front, facing frontward, also like then, to deceive, guile, to lead astray, to done for, only this chief, ox, leader, power, strength, mighty and massive lifted up sea, blood, also like if, save, life, breath, and this breath of life revealed in a man, this ox, and oxen, strengths, leaders of this chief, arm and hand thrust, deed, to physically observe, divided from, by this front facing frontward, also like man, person, of, and to this chief, ox, leadership, authority, and control toward this, with bind, staff of, toward, with this authority, goal, lead and teaching, also like unto, into, toward, in regard to, this head and person, top man from this beginning, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, seeing, watching and heeding, to experience, to understand this cover, also like friend, companion, neighbor, fellow, one also as well of this chief, arm, hand, handiwork, hand thrust, deed, to physically observe, divided from this front, facing frontward, also like man, person, one with eyes to see, experience, watching as to heed and understand, cover, and as appearance of it, this goal, authority, staff and control toward protection, this, lead, teaching and bind, bound, also like on, concerning beside, of this chief, ox, of inside this tent wall, divided from this, a hands of this arm, hand, thrust, deed, physically observing, also like brother, kindred, like one also as well, of this chief, arm, and hand thrust, deed, divided, facing frontward, also like man, person, follower, champion, of, to this chief, ox, and other oxen, to look at, behold, life, breath, and breath of life revealed in man, this family, and all inside this family house, tent, floor plan, also like love, have affection, love to Yahya, this one, look at life, breath, and this breath of life revealed in man, this family, all inside this family house, tent floor plan, also like love, one of this chief, ox, life, breath of life in man, in this, family house, tent floor plan of this head, and person, top man, from this beginning, topmost rule, first possession, and inheritance, also like following, of and in this tent wall, of son, in this pathway, hung down door, lowered, also like one, single, first, alone, unity, united, of and in this mark, signed covenant, strong indicator and signature, identification of people, place and thing added, connected to, through this anointed tent peg, hooked to secure, to join things, fixed to this head and person, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, life, breath, and breath of life in man, existence, also like law, instruction, teaching, comes to waters, drinks, this massive, mighty, lifted up sea, blood, lifted up, and lifts up this goal, authority, staff, with control toward protection, leading and teaching, this bind, in and of life, breath, and this breath of life in man, also like to fill, fulfill, complete, facing this frontward, divided from and with control toward authority, protection, this goal, leading and teaching, this staff and bind of this massive lifted up sea. Blood also like to be complete, sound, make amends, repay, repaid, reward, safe, friendly, to reciprocate. Offspring made out, equate to thus, sons, and all of this Yah-given kingdom of life, this heir, sprouting seed and continuation of and through this door, pathway, tent door, hung low, to and from this massive, lifted up sea, blood and via this anointed tent peg, hook to secure, fix, and add, just this, also like resemble, liken, or if ever not to, then cut off, those that could have had an eye to see, experience and heed, to understand cover of this might, massive, lifted up sea, blood, arm, hand, thrust, deed, to physically observe, also like those that could have been my noble people, my willing people, if ever, whenever, not of this mighty lifted up sea, blood inside this, and this family house, tent floor plan of this authority, goal, staff, bind, leading and teaching, arm, hand, and deed to physically observe, also like without, nothing, of life, breath of life in man, tent door, pathway hung down, and to see, experience, heed, and understand cover, this mark, sign, signature of this covenant, and identification of people, place, thing, also like perception, skill, understanding, and if ever, absolutely and due to, if not connected to this anointed tent peg, added, and with this hook to secure, this mark of, and on, this signed covenant, and identification of people, place, thing of this, facing frontward, toward this front, divided, pressed from, sharpened and repeating, allowed, and subdued by this palm of hand inside this tent wall, also like neglect, mislay, obliviousness, want of attention, of in this mark, signed covenant, strong indicator, signature and identification of people, place and thing, added, connected to, and through this anointed tent peg, hook to secure, to join things and fix to this head, and person, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, strength, also like law, instruction, teaching, of this one chief, and ox, authority, and goal, controlling toward protection, this bind, leading and teaching of, and to, look at life, breath, this breath of life revealed in man, this arm, and hand, throne hand, deed, this, to physically observe, by this palm of hand, tamed to subdue, and allow, opening, also like God, Almighty, Yahshua.